Oh shit, I'm nervous. Talking to a girl and shit. That's crazy shit. I don't like it. I don't like that I have to do these things. Oh, why is my brain melting? I don't like it. I don't like that I have to do these things. Pressure. I'm under so much pressure talking to you, senchaa. Stop. Stop whining. Stop making me nervous, senchaa. What the fuck? Why are you like this? That is advice that is given way too often, and it's completely impractical
No,
because it fucks over everyone who's there.
if you feel like she's going to kill you, if you think it's that severe, then just like don't engage with it, right?
Wait,
I'm not
Andrioder
going
could
to
never
engage
kill
with
me.
something that I think is going to. I can dislike
There's
you
a certain
for
level of
reasons and then give you
attention that you
reason.
farm, right? And when
Also, I'm
I
not
do it
crying
too
about being like,
blatantly,
oh, it's gonna
in a
kill
satirical
me. Oh my
way,
God, you're
you
gonna
decide to
kill
call
on
me
the
out for it on my
internet.
stream. Well, I'm
Go
not that
ahead.
upset about it.
Are you sure? You sounded
Wait,
really upset.
Even if you wanted to kill me, you couldn't kill me, even if you wanted to. I just look down on you, right?
Okay, nigga, like, bro, you're literally from, I don't even know where you're from, Australia? What are you, internet gangster? What is this? Like,
Isn't something that is
wait, is
particularly
nigga
black.
Ebonics?
And in fact, if I did it, people would start thinking, Crisp, you're white,
You're
not black.
funny. You're actually
Get the fuck out of here, bitch. I'm a reasonable racist. I'll let you know when I'm being racist, and it will be just racist enough.
Professing your love to me in DMs. Like, bro, you're cringe.
True. You got me.
Also, kill yourself.
What do you mean? Vlog you so I don't accidentally tell you about the pussy flaps? Nervous she's gonna mog your ass?
Big mouth. He's a large gentleman.
That woman have an effect on me. I just can't help it. You're all dangerous, evil cretins. Alright? You want to turn me into a pathetic little snack. That's all you women want to do. As a man, as a representation of my ideals, I need to stand against this. It's in my blood! It's in my DNA! I'm a man! I'm a chimp! I have to eat! I have to march! I have to fight! I'm worth more than this! You don't think these noble creatures deserve some respect? I am a noble chimp. That's true. That's true. Oh.
Whoever got the best grade.
Well, now I have to go back to work.
I got you right here.
Oh. Hey. Oh, you are here. Yeah, hold on. All right, give me a hey, just so I can see the sound level.
See your what? Give me your what?
Oh, just a hey. I just needed you to say anything so I could see how loud it was, but it's perfect. Nice.
Yeah, I can't be here for very long though, but yeah, what's up?
We thought that me and chat, because we're live right now, we're thinking that the context of why I would be annoyed at people saying I wish Crispin and fucking Andrioder can be friends isn't really that clear. Now, on some level, I know I've talked to you about this before, but I don't think we've had like a actual talk about it to go through it. So, but I can do it pretty easily, I think.
I mean, I think I've heard like the idea of what happened. I just don't know if me saying, I hope you guys work it out, is necessarily me saying that, like, or me virtue signaling or moral grandstanding. And I don't think it warranted the type of response you gave me.
That's probably true. But sometimes I just get worked up. Do you know why it annoys me though when people say that?
I can understand that. I wouldn't agree with that kind of emotional response, considering, at least from what I've heard, is like it's gonna not sound great, but like I don't
why
know
do you
if
think
it
I
was
have that emotional
big
response?
of a deal. Because from your perspective, she disrespected you. She kind of, because I know that you were going through a lot of mental shit at the time, or like in the past. I don't know all the lore, but and
Yep.
she kind of targeted that.
Mhm.
So I can understand why that would be kind of like a difficult thing for you to process your friend doing to you.
Yeah,
But at the
yeah.
same time, it's like
True,
from
because
what
maybe
from the
I
way
do
I
jump the gun a little bit, but it feels like you're like, not right now, but like when people in general are like, I hope they can be friends. I feel like they're skipping the step of being like, I hope Andrioder can figure out where she went wrong, right? Because otherwise, when I'm always putting in so much effort to like, or I have in the past. I'm not saying I'm always doing it, but I've had to put up with so much from her that she doesn't receive, and she doesn't listen, and she doesn't understand, and she makes up more and more and more stuff. So then to have us like treated like they just need to be friends, as opposed to like, oh well, like I see he's put in a lot of effort, and I hope she could eventually like figure that out, would be a lot more validating for me. And then on to build off of that a little bit, when people fuck, what is it? There's a oh, why is my brain melting? Pressure. I'm under so much pressure talking to you, senchaa. Stop whining. Stop making me nervous, senchaa. What the fuck? Why are you like this? Did she leave? Can you pull me back in? I was having audio issues. Okay, fuck. She did leave. Hold on, I need to make sure I'm looking at my screen. Dude.
yeah, okay, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
But
I didn't even realize you left, and I'm like struggling to figure out what to say, and then you're not responding, and I'm like fucking dying.
Anyway, yeah, I was saying that like I think you're both
Mhm.
adults and could work it out. Like I don't know what else to say
Yeah, right.
there.
So there's like a core of this. Hold on, let me consult my notes.
I don't even know what's on this.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm
I
getting
mean, don't you
PMs
see how
about
this
like
is just a
someone tell me how to
Discord?
explain this.
Well, isn't this just a Discord beef? Like it's Discord. Like I don't
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know. And I
sure.
also and like
The
I
whole
get
it's
it.
Discord thing is a little bit of a funny cope because people can be like, it's just the internet, it's just Discord. But like, some of my like best, longest lasting relationships came from internet threads, forums, and Discord and whatnot. And
Well,
I don't
yeah.
think I like
But
treat it
how long have you
harder.
known Andrioder though?
Like 2 years.
Like 2 years. Okay. And how
Yeah,
long were you friends with her
like a year and a
before?
half.
Like okay. Were you
Yeah.
close?
I mean, we hung out like, every day.
As in like you DM'd and stuff? Or like
What do you want me to
called him
say?
and everything?
I love the Android more than I love my own family. All right.
Well, I'm not saying all that.
She stomped on my dick. Yeah. True.
Because
Actually,
so you guys
yeah.
got into a heated argument and she said to kill yourself? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, she could do that like a bunch of times, but it turned into her going behind my back and speaking against me, aggressively trying to reframe every conversation when me and her were in the same room, specifically using all of my personal stuff to try to fuck with me, and essentially like trying to make me kill myself under the guise of saying, well, telling people to kill themselves is actually pretty reasonable here. But it's like, no, you're not quite just doing that. You're like really going out of your way to do this, and you're then trying to create reasons for why it's okay to do it. As in, like, Chris does the same thing to me, like, and everyone does it to everyone, so like it's not that bad. But in reality, it was just a pretty simple case of me being like, hey, I don't really think our friendship is like quite where I want it to be, and I'll like work with you to get it back there. And she ignores it and like devalues it. And then after a while, I'm like, you know, we're not really friends anymore. And she can't really take it. And then she just sets out to totally destroy me socially and in person whenever she sees me. And it leads into many hours, many nights where we would have like hours of Andrioder just shitting up the VC. You would think she was drunk. I think a lot of people would say she was drunk for like a lot of it. I never thought she was drunk because it didn't seem like... I never noticed that she started drinking more.
Here's the thing about that part of it. Is that really relevant? Because like...
It's not.
The shitting up the VC... Yeah, I don't know if that's relevant. Because I feel like...
Wait, the shitting up the VC is... Because it's... When I say shitting up the VCs, what I'm talking about is hours of waterboarding me, who doesn't need that kind of emotional baggage, and I'm generally there hanging out with my friends and value the space, right? I think this is like one of the reasons why me and her were friends, because I had like a pretty solid stance of absolutely decimating various like narcissistic losers who might be kind of adequate at debating, and they would come in under the pretense of debating, but then they would actually just be like personally insulting and rude and fucked up to people, as well as like portraying it to other people like they deserved it. And then I would bully these people so hard. People who are like that happen to, about 80% of the time, not be able to take it back. So I would give it back to them. Those people would fucking leave. Get them out of here. Andrioder and me would go back and forth, and we would both come back and be fine. So we had like a mutual sort of respect.
Well, okay. That was a lot. I just...
Yeah, that is backstory.
I also heard... I haven't heard her side of it, so I don't really know. I won't speak to all of that. I just know people can be very
90% of what has been said is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, or anything like that. And she will never tell you that she's never going to come back and be like, I just didn't like it that he didn't want to be my friend, so I decided to try to kill him, right? She's never going to say that shit. So
I didn't kill you. I just don't know if I even agree with that.
We just call it waterboarding. Like, she just kept dunking my head under the water for 3 months and then giving me a little bit of breath under the guise of, I don't know, being cool or whatever. But
I mean, did you block her and mute her?
Should I have to?
Yeah, that's the
internet. she's going behind my back to talk shit about me to other people, right? I sort of need to keep my eye on what's going on.
I mean, you can dispel that, sure, but like,
do you wear an anti-rape cage when you go out, just in case you run into a rapist? Or do you just keep your eyes on the world around you and defend yourself as it goes?
If somebody tries to touch me, I'm fucking killing him.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna kill him. But here's the thing, like, online,
so I just went toe to toe with her.
Online, well, it's different though. Just block the person. Like, there's this guy, one guy that talks about me. It's been like a year. He still talks about me to this day.
Right.
Like, just block him. Like, just block these people. It's the internet.
Well, for most of our conflict, I'm not like a big gen chatter, right? So me and her are always in the VC. So I'll be in a VC, Andrioder will come into the VC and take...
You can mute her and turn her down.
That is not practical.
Or just not be in there when she's in there.
That is advice that is given way too often, and it's completely impractical because it fucks over everyone who's there.
If you feel like she's going to kill you, if you think it's that severe, then just like don't engage with it, right?
Wait, Andrioder could never kill me.
Something that I think is going to kill me.
Andrioder could never kill me. If Andrioder could kill me, I said trying to. Similar to at least dozens of other DJs who have tried the same shit, bro. People have been trying to kill me for a long fucking time. The only people who think it's a good idea to kill me, Chris Bledis, are fucking ignorant, alright? But as much as I like to think that if anyone could handle this kind of abuse, it would be me, it's still not nice to receive. And it kind of makes her a piece of shit. And we haven't exactly got into why what you said is something that I would perceive as a virtue signal, but we can get into that eventually. but we're just talking
I
about the
mean,
context.
the thing is, at the end of the day, you've been saying weird shit about me. I just don't appreciate it. Like,
What is this diversion?
today, it's not diversion. That's the point of me
Bro,
hopping on here.
you think you're a normal chatter who deserves
thought it was
normal comments
weird.
made about you? As a
No.
woman, it's just the internet, senchaa. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ.
I mean, sure. I can dislike
There's a
you for
certain level
reasons
of
and then give you
attention that you
reason.
farm, right? And when
Also, I'm
I
not
do it too
crying about being like,
blatantly,
oh, it's gonna
in a
kill
satirical
me. Oh my
way,
God, you're
you
gonna
decide to
kill
call
on
me
the
out for it on my
internet.
stream. That's
It's
crazy.
waterboarding me. Like, just block. It's not that hard.
Do you think I should have blocked you instead of having
Yeah.
this conversation, or?
If you wanted to, if you think
What?
I'm gonna kill you,
Well, I'm
go
not that
ahead.
upset about it.
Are you sure? You sounded
Wait,
really upset.
Even if you wanted to kill me, you couldn't kill me, even if you wanted to. I just looked down on
Okay.
you, right?
Okay, nigga, like, what are you talking about? What are you, internet gangster? What is this? Like, bro, you're literally from, I don't even know where you're from, Australia? You're not like that. You're not built like that. Calm down.
Damn. I can feel
Not
the
built
ghetto
like
coming out
that.
right now.
You're not built like that.
You
Okay,
remind me a lot of FMJ in this present moment. I'm starting to understand more what you are built
was that
like.
like the one other black
Although,
person you know,
probably
and like
just
you
when it's
had to vote
convenient,
it out?
isn't
Yeah.
it,
Oh, okay,
senchaa?
I get it. Like, oh, black, same thing, same person. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, sorry, were you not acting black just now? You don't think that using
No.
Ebonics in a conversation with me suddenly out of nowhere isn't something that is
Oh wait, is
particularly
nigga
black?
Ebonics?
And in fact, if I did it, people would start thinking, Crisp, you're white,
You're
not black.
funny. You're actually
Get
funny
the
as
fuck
hell.
out of here, bitch. I'm a reasonable racist. I'll let you know
Okay.
when I'm being racist, and it will be
It's funny
just
how you went
racist
from
enough.
professing your love to me in DMs to this. Like, that's really interesting.
What do you mean? You're incredibly hot.
Okay.
You are literally, your
Yeah.
current boyfriend, when he first saw you, literally said, my god, with a woman like that, I can't believe she hasn't been snapped up already. Found out you weren't snapped up, and immediately went in for the kill. Alright?
Yeah,
You're coming
he
at
got
me like it's weird for me to tell you you're hot as well, and yet you're dating a guy who had the exact same fucking
No.
take on that shit.
No, it's the way
You're
you came
desperate.
at it in DMs.
She's
You
desperate.
were like
She's
professing your
scrambling.
love to me. You literally just met me, barely know me, and you're typing out long soliloquies in chat, in our chats, talking about how much you like. Oh my god, you're so aesthetically pleasing. Like, bro, you're cringe.
True.
And now you're gonna come on stream
I'm cringe.
and be
You
mad
fucking
at
loved
telling me
it.
talking about my pussy
You
flaps
fucking loved it.
like a fucking weirdo, like
Alright,
an
that
old
was
ass creep.
weird.
Literally just blocked me.
Yep, you got me.
Also, kill yourself.
What do you mean? Block you so I don't accidentally tell you about the pussy flaps? Dude, I don't need to hold a weight above my head because I'm worried about, you know, the things I think. Alright. I hope you don't take this too personally. She's gone. She's gone. She ran. Crisp wins. Where's chat? Did anyone even fucking... Did you all just go quiet to listen to that? Not a single message. How do we suggest content? Probably in the Discord, Mr. Post Chocobo. Let me DM why. Yeah, I'm confused what even started this. I mean, she just started insulting me at one point. Did I sound like I was talking down to her? I explicitly said that I would look down on her if she was trying to kill me, but I don't think that's unreasonable. I literally look down on every fucking random ass stalker, DGGer, people trying to hack into my shit, people in, you know, follow me around, making ults, coming up. Why? I'm gonna look down on these people, right? Yeah, at the end, but this is only after she started fucking insulting me. Yeah, I think I was fair too, Choco. Honestly, I had to think on my feet. Thank God I'm medicated, because she was hitting me with so many shit from different directions. Had to... What should I say to her? Did you leave on purpose? Try not to take it personally. I mean, she started leaking mine in her DMs. But yeah, I'm not... Obviously, I'm not going to go out here telling stories about my cringe DMs to internet woman. I don't kiss and tell. But she just wanted to fucking try to use that to dangle it above my head. Fuck, I wish I had access to my old account. I don't. So she'll be able to go back and look at those DMs, and I can't. Trying to take it personally. We didn't really get into that underlying thing. About the underlying appropriate response to the situation, which isn't that serious, although you do seem to be struggling with the concept. I could have gone a little bit harder with that message. You do seem to be struggling with the concept, despite me having explicitly gone over it with you earlier. Dude, it is a fucking grandstand. The thing at the end, where she starts insulting me like that, right? What that feels a lot like is, she didn't want to look mistaken or wrong or whatever, and she wanted to talk about a whole bunch of context, right? So we started going over the context, and she responds with like, oh, well, I don't know Andrioder's side of the story. And I was like, well, what does that matter? She's not gonna agree with what I told you happened. And I'm only telling you what happened so that we can get to me and you communicating. There is 100% a way that senchaa could understand things and understand me to a point where we would be totally free to have amazing positive interactions and friendships. But she was putting little hurdles for me to get there, which I am jumping over, right? In these conversations. Seems like at one point, Lee's gonna fuck you up. Lee's literally got undiagnosed mental illnesses that he's too afraid to tap into. Lee will just fuck himself up. And essentially, they can be like, oh, I don't like what Crisp is saying about Andrioder or whatever, but it doesn't fucking matter. What I'm doing is good. I'm good, you're bad, I'm big, you're small. Probably incel fury, I think you would be fair, get wrecked, Lee's gonna fuck you up. Tough potato says some shit. Alright, so chat, next time I'm in that situation, the thing that I wasn't sure how to like get there, which conveniently she accidentally left the call right when I was trying to do the brain work to get there, but maybe now that we're just chilling out on stream I can figure it out. Because the crux of it, she didn't respond to my DMs. She actually is fully ran. The fucking baiting, bro. Senchaa baiting so hard. Taking that shit personal. Can't even handle. I mean, she doesn't have to be a retard. She should just embrace the learning process. Luckily, Professor Crisp is here to teach her. She would randomly bully my ass when Spinboy came around. It was the freakiest shit I ever seen. And then when you weren't around a bunch of dudes, she was chill as fuck. Or when we weren't. Yeah, I think as soon as senchaa like fired off the fact that I was in her DMs when we first met or whatever, which I don't give a fuck. Weird. It's weird for her to bring it up. What does she want me to do? Be like, yeah, I did send you big pictures of my loads like being blasted around and you loved it? Like, I don't know. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And none of that happened. I can't even go look at what I sent her, so I don't even remember if it was like soliloquies or to disprove it. Not that I care. But yeah, I gotta go. Let me know if you watched the video. Oh yeah, post. You mean the Signalis one, right? Yeah. So what is it? What is it? What is the question? The question is, why does Crisp think it's inherently virtue signaling to say, hey, I wish they would just be friends? Either A, you're in here and you don't know what you're talking about because you're new, or B, you've been in here long enough to understand some of the complexities of the situation, or just the context, right? People like to pretend like they don't know. I think they know enough to put a little bit of effort in and figure that shit out. Ironically, people will both pretend that they know about it and then still choose to say the thing which is like, I just want everyone to be friends. When you look at me, chat, do you think, I wish that guy could just be friends with Hitler? I wish that that poor Jewish crisp lettuce could just be friends with Hitler. I wish that Russia and Ukraine could just get along. It is unironically like the Russia-Ukraine peace treaty is, you know, JD Vance and Trump being like, we give you so much. Do you even thank us for it? Crisp, we give you and Andrioder all the space to play games and hang out together. You don't even thank us for it, and you don't even accept it from her. The thing is, to say that encourages me to just be friends with her and let her hang out. But in saying this, you're putting me in a position where once again I can be totally fucked by someone who hasn't understood, accepted, or made an effort in any good way to at least appear to understand the situation. And this isn't like a Russia-Ukraine war. She doesn't really have to do anything. The equivalent of Russia actually holding up a peace treaty would be Andrioder just managing to acknowledge that she was wrong when she went ahead and decided to lie about all of the things I was doing to her and why I didn't like her and yada yada yada. And I get it that that's hard because she would have to acknowledge that she didn't value our friendship. She didn't treat me like a person, which isn't a big deal. You know, people don't operate properly in friendships a lot of the time. I didn't think it was a big deal when it was happening to me. I didn't bring it up to anyone else. I didn't, except for her. And she just sort of ignored it when I brought it up. And eventually I'm like, well, I'm out. And as soon as I was like, I'm out, she didn't really believe me. And then later on, when she started claiming that Crisp was in, that Crisp and Andrioder are tight, she does this in front of a bunch of people, and I'm like, hey, we're not. Then she gets embarrassed in front of all those people. And then she starts talking shit about me because it's easier to punch down on someone than, like, you know, straightening your spine and being like, fuck, maybe this situation is a bit bigger than me and I fucked up. And I think that's exactly what senchaa just did to me in this conversation as well. She started trying to shit talk me so that she could just punch down on me, right? It'd be a whole lot different if senchaa had been like, I see where you come from and I think you're right, but I just disagree. And that way, senchaa would be facing up to the reality of my situation, validating me, and then going up against the, you know, the Titan, the full framework of me and my situation. Instead, she was trying to beat around the bush, you know, do a whole bunch of other shit. Bro, Hitler was a socialist. He was basically like us libs. A stone toss away. More like a boulder's kick away. Big disconnect. As in how to utilize Discord. I usually have the knee-jerk reaction like you to just say, dude, it's Discord, let it go. Yeah, true. without acknowledging that, like you said, people are making legit friendships and relationships. Yeah, this is an interesting one that I've had this conversation with like a bunch of times. Let me finish that message though, DJ Jinky. Once I accepted that, I've been a lot less pretentious if someone brings up Discord-based beefs to me. Yeah. So there's like a level with these online things where I realise like these are strangers on the internet. In a lot of ways, I can't like reach out and affect them, which is why like when I run my Discord, if we've got someone in there who's having like serious mental problems and like maybe want to kill themselves or something, we can try to treat them as like a friend and reach out to them as a friend. But however, if I'm not like a friend with that person, I don't have that access, and even that access doesn't give me the same experience as what they might need as like a hands-on psychologist there with them in real life, or someone who's there in their country to call emergency services, or say someone is getting mugged or beaten up. I'm like, why are you in Discord? Call a real life friend, call the police near you, you know, go get the help elsewhere you need. And so this eventually leads to sometimes people being banned or kicked out of the Discord. But that doesn't mean that this is like super not serious. There is a level of emotional support that I can do remotely for people, or advice that I can give people. It's like people read books which change their lives, right? Discord is way less connected to you than some goddamn book. On the other hand, when I see intense religious fanatics, I'm maybe like, bro, it's just a book. Chill on the genital mutilation and holocausts based on religious holocausts. Chill, dude, it's just a book. So you can see the like dynamics of this, you know, power struggle or whatever. And for people to use it like so dismissively a lot is usually just like an unwilling to like think or engage. How can an e-data say it's just Discord? LMAO? Oh shit, blown out. I'm saving that one. Portobello. That's some funny shit. That must have stung when I immediately brought my boyfriend and said, yeah, I immediately did try to come back with that 2 legs, which is like, well, she should actually know enough about me to know that that was a ridiculous thing to say. Because when she's saying, why don't you just block her or just turn her volume down, the turning your volume down is one that I hear a lot, but you're fucking things up for everyone else in that Discord. And then what? Am I meant to ask everyone else to turn her volume down? Now this is something that I have done to Andrioder 3 or 4 times, and every time she bursts into tears. But there were times when she was shitting up the Discord, which is a euphemistic way of saying aggressively attacking people in an unreasonable and horrific way for hours at a time. Other times it was just attention seeking. Now, eventually it might get to the point where me with my big booming voice will be like, Andrioder, I'm turning your volume down, and I encourage everyone else to do the same while we have a talk about what's been going on for the past 20 minutes of you, or, you know, 2 hours or longer sometimes of her shitting up the Discord. And she makes that completely necessary. From what I've heard from other people who don't turn her volume down, she will not stop. When she knows her volume's down, she goes and goes and goes and goes and screams into the void, and I can't hear her, so I don't know what's happening. And often when I'm having her volume turned down, all I'm doing is having a conversation with whoever was on the receiving end of her bullshit, like, hey, this happens, you know, try not to feel too bad about it, it's not a reflection on you personally, and like, here's some patterns of behavior that me and other people have been through, and this is how we felt about it. Hopefully this like helps you quickly work through the emotional backlash of being dehumanized and attacked randomly on the internet in like such a crazy, hateful way. It's nothing personal. It's almost not even that she feels this way about you. It's just the way she feels about the space and like how interactions with people go in general. And, you know, we could speculate more on how she even gets to that level. But she's gotten better like recently. Kind of. I think she might have taken it to other spaces. So a lot of the weirdness with this is that like she's gotten better, right? Like I just said. Now when senchaa comes in here and refuses to have a good conversation with me, it leads to me having to talk about all of Andrioder's fucked up negative traits all over again. It's a little bit rich considering I just put out a video about it. But on the other hand, Andrioder is getting what she deserves. Which is help. I'm helping her, chat. She needs to be able to grapple and understand with like the context of these situations. And also, it shouldn't be my responsibility not to get to vent about this a little bit. But if people are like, I just want to see them be friends, I just want to see her happy, I want this to be like fine and yada yada yada, especially when they do know the details of the situation, they'd be taking action about it rather than fucking circle jerking about it and a fucking gen chat being like, oh, I just want to see everyone be happy. It's just a feeling I have. I just have a feeling that I want to see people be like, all good and fine. Bro. You think coming in here and talking about all your positive fucking fluffy feelings is the best thing to do? Because I think it is directly leading to a loop, right? You're pulling us into the loop. One of the biggest looping copes was after Andrioder would crash out very often, people would say, why did you guys wind her up? And it's like, what's a good analogy? If there's like a big bonfire going on and you just let it burn itself out but you don't go stomp out the coals, and then the bonfire starts up again, why are you telling the forest to stop burning itself down, right? Why are you letting the lolcow constantly be nurtured and never reprimanded and constantly reaffirmed and reinforced and built up and reassuring it that you're its friend, I love you, little ember, you're great, Andrioder, you're great, you haven't done anything wrong, and then putting her back in the situation that she can't handle over and over and over. It's not my fucking responsibility. I shouldn't have to block her. In fact, over time, I'm cooking on that bonfire. Let's go. I got my marshmallows out. And what am I meant to do? I'm not the one lighting the fire like they're saying. It's not my forest. I'm not the fire service. I'm not here to look after it. I still think it might be a little bit hard for a lot of you guys to understand, like coming in here. People, I think, will still be posting like, I just don't really get it. But the main crux of the situation is like accountability and like needing to understand how someone got there. Even acting in a preferable way while denying all accountability creates a very awkward situation where me and other people need to be more nervous or paranoid that like they seem to be doing okay, but I'm also aware that they don't know where they went wrong, which is a shame. I hate it when people, me personally, I hate it when things happen to me that I can't understand or don't know. That is the most fucked up PTSD given thing. We try to help her to understand and know. But it's not that she doesn't, she feels like she knows, but she also just invents stories to explain how she knows these things, which isn't great. makes it more difficult to help her actually get to grips with what happened. So the paranoia, even if they're acting good, comes from a place of being like, I know that they don't know how they got there, which means I don't have any reason to think that they are able to stop themselves from getting back there. Or, if this is malicious, which I do think it was, this person is just pretending to care and understand and know how they got in this situation. But in reality, they're unwilling to take any accountability for what happened because they don't want to look guilty in any way, probably meaning that they might want to go back and do that shit again. And they don't want to ever say that that shit's bad. They always want to be like, oh, it was justified because of this. Chris was a piece of shit. I'm just punching down on him. Real Chris fans got it after Andrioder rant, part 682. Yeah, that's true, Portobello. It has got to like a point where if that hadn't been censure and that had been Andrioder in that conversation, it could have been a lot quicker, where I would have been like, a lot of people seem to get this, so I know it's not impossible to get, right? It's a little bit shocking when censure or someone else comes in and has the balls to come at me over it or whatever, but they aren't able or willing to like engage properly. And it's like, well, why didn't you just shut the fuck up about this conversation? I'm not even telling you to block me or block us, or that you're not allowed to be here, or that you have to change your behavior. Just some advice. You're kind of fucking up. You're saying that you want to fix the situation and make everyone be good, but really you're like empowering her to keep fucking up, which makes her upset, and you're kind of pushing me into a situation. And like, did you care at all what happened to me? Because if you don't, that's fine. Maybe you don't know me, but you can't go out there saying that you're got any grounds to, you know, act like you've got some sort of like cognitive bias towards anything like morally good. You're just sort of like being fucked. I'm not gonna give you respect for that, you know? It's just an awful take. And I also feel like I'm not getting respect for it. I feel like you're just undermining my whole situation and pushing me back into a thing where it's like, hey, you have to let these toxic people back into your life because otherwise their friends will get upset and you have to be friends here, and, you know, we just want everything to be nice. And it's like, why do I have to keep walking into the fire that keeps burning down over and over and over? And in this particular circumstance, when I'm good with her again, I'm also in a situation where I'm never allowed to not be good with her. Otherwise, she can fuck me over for 3 months again. You know? That is crazy. That is crazy. It's a particularly wild kind of case, alright? How do I sum all that up with censure? You know? I should be like, hey, when you said you hope that everything could be good again, you're asking me to ignore her helping herself and telling me to get back in a friendship or an acquaintanceship, or, you know, let her portray that to people in a way which used to make me look bad, and if I ever try to pull away from it again, I get shit on, right? It's rough, and I don't want to see that happen to anyone else. I think this was the crux of what I said to Censure another time when she first joined, was like, yeah, I'm not being paranoid, and I talk shit about Andrioder sometimes, but right now I'm not. Right now, I'm trying to give you the honest best advice, and that is that if you do give this person too much slack, there is a very high chance that you're going to suffer in the way that many other people have from her behavior, because she's going to take that little bit of rope that you've given her and fucking light it like a fuse and blow your ass up, which is rough. It's a rough thing to have to go through. What is that does give Ukraine and Russia should just forgive each other vibes? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's been like 20 minutes since she left. I don't think she's coming back. She had to go to work anyway. It's kind of sad the way she took that though. You Crispy versus and Russia. That actually, that's pretty good. I hit Danny with a meme the other day. It does make me sad that Cinch's out there being like, you're unhinged, you're fucked up. You know, and then punching down on me on stream, trying to use personal shit against me. Do you guys think that I really deserved Cincha bringing up our DMs and, you know, trying to tack on to some bullshit in chat? Like, oh, Crispa's unhinged. You're saying this to a whole bunch of people that would love to hear it, and you're saying it for bad reasons. When I go out there and Cincha's like, you say weird shit to me, and my response is, well, you're not like a normal chatter. You encourage weird shit being said to you, don't you? I'm not wrong. So when I do it, ironically and blatantly, I get that would make her uncomfortable. I'm sorry that you have to do some self-reflection. But, to then go post in line to a whole bunch of strangers that Crispa's unhinged really proves what I'm saying. Oh, why are you doing that? You think you're protecting these people from me? Or do you think you're really just reaching out to the other fucking retard pussies out there who you don't agree with on fucking 90% of what they say, but now you're all willing to go get their attention just because I've offended you over your own fucking mistakes? That's crazy, chat. Anyway, here's a funny tweet from Danny that I just got a reply from.